Welcome to Bay Sunday. I'm your host, Kenny Choi. We begin with our pitch. If you have a show idea, we would love to hear from you. You could go to facebook.com/Bay Sunday. You can like the page and comment and tag your pitch. All right, let's get started. Please welcome the author of Citizen Scientists, Searching for Heroes and Hope in an Age of Extinction, Mary Ellen Hannibal. Good to have you with us.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure.
So tell us, what does it really take to really save nature? You talk about this in this book.
Such a great question, because it's what we're losing animals and plants. We're losing species at a rate and magnitude that took out the dinosaurs. So we're in this terrible extinction event. But the problem is most of us don't really know where and how this is happening or what we can do to help. So what we know that we need to do primarily to really help scientists and land and other, natural resource managers figure out where to make, surgical strikes to really help species is we need to count where they are and in what relationships to each other. So smartphone technology comes along just at the time when we really need it most. And with your smartphone, you can use an app called iNaturalist, which is part of the California Academy of Sciences Citizen Science program. And it's like a Facebook for nature lovers. So when you're out hiking, you can take pictures of plants and animals, bugs, birds that you see. And the app assigns that observation a date, a time, a latitude, and a longitude. It fixes it in the space-time continuum, as Dr. Spock would say. Mm-hmm. Right. And with that piece of very concrete information, we can track what's happening to species and help them.
And in the book, you also talk about whales.
There's a little bit about whales. I mean, I spent a lot of time in the beginning of the book on these kind of adventures along the coast. And I went out with researchers from Beachwatch and from Point Blue Conservation Science who were test driving an app called Whale Aware. So unfortunately, we have all these huge shipping boats coming in and out of the port, and they frequently crash into whales, and it's terrible whale mortality that happens. So with this app, regular people out on the water, whale watchers, fishermen, people out there just recreating, when you see whales, you make this observation. That observation goes directly to the port of San Francisco, and it goes directly to the ships that are coming in and out, and they often will change their shipping lanes to avoid whales. So it's a fantastic thing. So
it really relies on everyone's participation. We have federal agencies out there like NOAA that are always tracking these things, but it really comes down to participation. You talk about the history, about how it's been here for centuries.
I'm so glad that you brought that up. Well, NOAA and these agencies, they do such an amazing job, and they really are trying their best, but we need an army of people kind of helping them. And those observation systems that NOAA has and like the Weather Service have, these are built on centuries, really, of amateur observations made by regular people. Thomas Jefferson was a citizen scientist. Mm-hmm. Actually, Charles Darwin was a citizen scientist. These are people practicing science with no official affiliation with an institution and no advanced degree in science. And they gave us this big database of where and when species were found then. And today, we use that information to figure out what's happening to species now. And all those specimens that are at the California Academy of Sciences are so critical to what we're doing today with our phones, because they are the records of life as it was lived. And that's how we track how things are changing. And with climate change and global change in general, we understand that we've got a lot to work against, right?
Right. Data is key. So what else can citizens do? You talked about common citizens using that app to track certain species. What else can they do to help?
There are so many, many things. One of the best things about citizen science is it's just the most flexible thing. There's a website called scistarter.org, SCIstarter.org, which has tons and tons of citizen science projects all over the country for you to look at. I personally take a very generous idea about what is a citizen scientist. So if you are out pulling invasive species in the Presidio or in habitat around the Bay Area, I think you are a citizen scientist, and that is making a very valuable contribution to a healthy ecosystem.
And there are a couple events. We have about 30 seconds to go.
Okay.
There are a couple events that are coming up.
So Save the Redwoods League, which is so cool. So they really put your citizen science to action right away with their scientific research and with their conservation. And I am giving a long talk there on September 7th. Mm-hmm. It's free. You've just got to sign up for it online. And the other event is September 20th at the San Francisco Jewish Community Center. So special because we'll have like 12 local Bay Area citizen science projects for you to come and browse.
Well, looking forward to that, and we're glad that you're here this morning.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
For more information about citizen scientists, you could log on to MaryEllenHannibal.com. That's MaryEllenHannibal.com. And we'll be back with more Bay Sunday after this break.